we're back. This is the final of today's Legacy event.
Both players have struggled through 5 rounds of Swiss and 2 rounds of top 8 to find a final top 8 round of Death and Taxes versus Grixis Delver.
This one is for all the bananas, or the cardboard.
The Bayou for first, and I'm not quite certain on the price structure for the rest.
Bunch of store credit. Bunch of store credit for second.
About 80 store credit.
Yeah, something like that. It's
that's half a dual land or a plateau.
Not quite an unlimited Bayou, but still
a revised plateau.
Still not a bad lick.
No, not at all.
Anyways, I'm pretty sure the players are shuffled up. Yep.
Mark's already drawing a 7. Jack Chickens is already mulliganing, so we've missed that part.
Yep. All right. So looks like Mark's looking at some Wasteland, 2 Volks, some other stuff.
A Stifle and a True Name, and he's decided to keep that. So
seems
I
capable.
like the first turn. The first turn Stifle the Wasteland if you try and do that, and then second turn or third turn I should say True Name Nemesis.
That looks like a 6 with no land.
That's a 6 with 1 land. It's a rich and important. It doesn't do a lot. So we're going down to 5.
Going to 5.
It's going to be one of those fast games.
Yep. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate.
And for the deck that wants to play the controlling prison angle is not really where the deck wants to be.
Yeah.
With that said, Jack draws 5. No land again. Going to 4. Now, on the list of decks that win from 4, there's Dredge. There's
what else can win from 4?
there's Show and Tell. And doesn't really do it that well.
It can. Burn can win off the top of the deck.
Yeah, it needs to get a few things. Now, that's a nice hand. It's Plains, Vial, Batterskull.
I mean, if you haven't got much land, you might as well have 2 Vials.
Exactly. Like, as we saw a couple of games ago, the top 8 match of Sean versus Jesse, he had no land at the end of it and 5 creatures in play off his Vial. So, definitely one way to do it.
All right, so
Mark fetches C and holds it there. So Stifle on Aether Vial on turn 1 just to slow him down a little bit. I like that play.
Yeah. Your opponent's got 4 cards. It all matters. Everything matters to them at this point.
He goes for the Death Ride. So he's got second turn True Name and then snap, just slams it onto the table.
Oh, well, that happened.
That Death Ride didn't even see it coming.
That happened. All right. Oh,
still no creatures in hand for Jack.
Still no creatures.
Plays Volk, plays Delver.
Delver down.
I think there's just too many creatures on Mark's side of the board just in his hand at the moment. For what Jack's doing, he doesn't have a way to interact yet. He's just hoping that he gets something relevant.
He tried to bait the Stifle out of Mark by activating Vial and then not putting anything into play.
Yeah, it's something which is always good to do if you've got a Vial deck. Just at the end of every single turn, if you activate it, it means that your opponent doesn't know when you do have something in hand or not.
Yep.
And it's just something to get into the practice of doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there's things, if someone knows you're about to activate it, doing things like putting Vendilion Clique into play, putting Containment Piece into play, it just makes it, you work that little bit extra harder from the other side of the board.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. All right, so Wasteland coming down, taking out the Rishadan Port.
Yep, and that True Name Nemesis is almost there.
And that's another Swords. It's
interesting that Jack hasn't elected to play the second Aether Vial yet, but as you said, he is holding up the Swords to Plowshares there.
Oh, that's a True Name.
Okay, and
Swords number 2.
Swords 2 for the attack.
Yep.
And we're just leaving that Vial on 2 until further notice. But most of the cards are at 2, but there are a few things at 3. If you get a Recruit or a Flickerwith, they may want to come down as well.
Yeah, definitely not. On me. Oh, long day.
We see the second Vial finally coming down. And Jack is left with a Batterskull and a Jitte in hand. So all set for the proverbial Stoneforge Mystic that he hasn't seen yet.
Yes.
And
So Mark's still... He's got cards. He's playing
files
cards.
in response to Brainstorm and puts nothing in.
Yeah, why not?
So has a few removal spells.
Quite
Fun
a bit.
Yeah.
Stifle, Bolt, Dismember.
Yeah, so he can pretty much just lean on the removal spells he's got in his hand for the time being.
Yeah.
And, attack with the True Name Nemesis.
Got a Tombstalker in hand, which he's pretty castable.
Yeah, like he may even be able to do just a mini delve, I should say.
Yeah.
Getting rid of 4 cards in his graveyard and tapping for 3 mana.
Yep.
But yeah, it was a very nice Brainstorm in terms of the cards he saw.
Yes.
And now we start ticking up the second vial.
Yeah. Twitch chat referring. Yeah, that was a good Brainstorm. That was some nice cards to see.
And here we go. We are getting on the Tombstalker.
Yeah, I think
bandwagon.
so. Crack the Tombstalker.
Still,
crack the fetch to cast.
He's very much going for the avoiding the Badlands at all possible options since that experience in the first game by the look of it as well.
Yep, that was a bit unfortunate. All right.
Taps down 8 mana, so there's 1 floating, and okay.
1 too many.
Yep, 1 too many, and looks back in his graveyard and puts... Nope. Okay, does not put something back in his graveyard,
So
just...
1 mana floating, doesn't have Stifle up anymore.
He's just that confident.
Oh, it doesn't need it. Who needs it?
And, oh wow, that was a good turn from Jack. It doesn't do anything, but it's a good turn.
Yeah, he got value from both of his vials. Nice. All right, so we're going to go to game 2. That was a bit of a nothing, unfortunately.
Yeah, so we've got Grixis Delver. As we said last time, I don't think much is going to change. We've got a Braid, we've got Marsh Casualties. That's pretty much what you want to bring in.
Yep.
Maybe Snapcasters, maybe Thoughtseize, but they're not that good.
Yeah, just...
You can see here Mark's boarding out at the moment. He's opted to take out all the Force of Wills, and I think that was 1 days.
Interesting.
As I said, Force of Will is a card that you don't really want to force anything other than the vial. So it's something where...
Yeah, I can see that.
If you can find a way that you can deal with the vial in another way, then it's good to take them out.
Yep.
But taking out all your counter magic, I think, is quite aggressive as well.
Yes.
In terms of the 8 cards that would be brought in, we've got, as I said, 2 Braid, 2 Marsh Casualties, then probably 2 Snapcaster Mages sound good, and probably 2 Thoughtseizers.
Yep.
Having a look at what Jack's doing, I actually had a quick chat with him before the game about how he would be doing his sideboarding, and we're looking at 2 Paths to Exile into Council's Judgment so that you can deal with the True Name Nemesis, and Orzhov Pontiff, which neg 1 to anything. Everything is quite good, and one of the rest of pieces would be coming in as well. That deals with things like Deathrite Shaman and the alternate casting option for Tombstalker. Then obviously just taking out some of the not so good cards, such as Mirran Crusader.
Yeah. What else might he pull out? So if he's putting in 6 cards, what's he pulling? So 2 Mirran Crusades can come out. What else would you be looking at?
That's a good question. Look, maybe Serra Avenger. Maybe the Revoker, actually. The Revoker doesn't look like it's...
Revoker doesn't do much at all.
Yeah,
actually, probably Revoker.
If it's a Death Rider, not that much else.
Yeah, it's not that relevant. Probably the Serra Avenger, and then I could see, maybe 2 Revokers, maybe?
Yeah. So the Serra Avenger and the Flickerwist have the advantage that if you have a Mum on field, or actually the Mum if anything, I should say, but these especially because they fly, they can just block all day. Which is very, very nice. Jack is a huge proponent, I know, of not having the Gideon in the sideboard, which a lot of Death and Taxes decks do.
Okay.
Gideon just letting you grind out the control matchups. He thinks it's already in a good enough place there
Sure.
and isn't really needed.
Yep.
He does have the Cataclysm, though, which just destroys the control deck if you ever land it.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. You need lands to play.
Need lands to play. Well, as I said earlier, we proved in the final game of the top 8 that was not the case.
Yeah, not always. Not always.
Not always. We have cards which break the game.
Yes,
in this
true.
format.
This is true.
But breaking the game in a fair way.
Oh, yeah, we'll call it that.
The bar was fairer than our sneaking show.
Air quotes fair. All right, well, honestly, I think it's a bit rough that the Death and Taxes cop such a short end of a very blunt stick in game 1 there, because I feel that Grixis gets quite a bit better versus them after board.
Yeah, well, I don't think Mulder 4 is where anyone really wants to be, but you do what you can.
That was the proverbial blunt short stick.
Mm.
All right.
Maybe Mark can make it fairer for both of them by mulling to 4 this game.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not really the Magic that we want to be watching either.
No, sadly not. But it happens nonetheless. There was still some play. Jack did get to do some stuff.
Yeah, lots of Swords to Plowshares coming down. We can see some no planes once again, but we have a Cavern and a Wasteland and 2 Stoneforge Mystics. So
okay,
sounds like we've got some stuff going on. We've got no land in Mark's hand, so hopefully what I said wasn't very pathetic.
So we have there is the Revoker in hand there, so we know there's at least one still in the deck.
And just to Goblin Lucky from Twitch chat, yes, it is triple sleeve because those aren't very high quality Australian sleeves, so we just need to make sure they're protected.
Yep, got to value the sleeves in the Team Australia deck, and yep.
I personally am not the biggest fan of trying to shuffle a triple sleeve deck. I can't fit them in my hand.
No,
but
you can see the absolute sheer difficult. I have rather not large hands, but not small hands. I would struggle to shuffle that deck.
Well, I have trouble with the EDH decks as well.
Yeah.
But they seem to do it very, very quickly. So I think it's roughly the same size as what one of those is.
Yeah, about that. Steve's just pointing out who Steve does own. This is Steve's deck, correct? Steve owns Steve's exact deck.
This is Steve's deck.
Yeah. So apparently the quality of those of the actual sleeves themselves of not double sleeve to protect the sleeves. It's triple sleeve to protect the sleeves. It's triple sleeve because you shuffle it once and you lose a sleeve. Each shuffle.
Got a Scry and Mark's side, and he leaves it on the top. Jack leaves on the Wasteland, and I assume we're going to see a Stoneforge Mystic soon. So Mark has kept 3 land even, Ponder, Brainstorm, Lightning Bolt, Tombstalker.
Yep.
So threat light hand, but I think he's just going to be playing the Ponder and digging for some action there. And no, decides to do the Wasteland trade.
Wasteland.
The Tempest number doing attacking the Modern Masters.
Yep. It was interesting. Jiggins already had his hand on his Wasteland in preparation to Wasteland his opponent's land.
Well, since you've got your hand there already, just place it in the graveyard for me.
Yeah.
Draws the planes off the top, which is really nice. That means that he can activate the Stoneforge Mystic once he plays that.
Oh, that's funny. All right, so let's see.
So Volks come down, Ponder's being played, and it looks like we've gone for a shuffle.
Yep, shuffling off the Ponder. We'll draw a unknown card.
And no, this is, despite its size, not Battle of Wits.
Yeah,
I'm not sure I would want to be sitting here for that. Actually, I'd be very impressed if Battle of Wits made it to the finals.
Made it to the final table
Of a 30-person event.
It'd be rather impressive.
And
to be fair,
Mark is already holding the Abrade in hand for when this Stoneforge gets its target. In this case, we're up to Basco.
Yeah, so Basco comes out. Well, comes to hand.
We've got the Stifle for the first activation and the Abrade for the second.
Yep.
Still no threats.
Nope.
So
Cracks gets something.
yeah, didn't fire off the Brainstorm. Didn't think that was necessary yet. I'm not quite sure what he's paying for 2 though.
Oh, okay. Well, so Cracks main.
Mm-hmm.
Might be. Not sure. Don't know what he's got in hand that he's actually planning to cast here, but we will see momentarily. Or maybe he just wanted an opportunity to shuffle those amazing sleeves again.
Apparently, it's much easier once you've drawn your initial 7.
Yeah.
The 53 triple sleeve is fine.
I'm
Goes for the bolt on the
main face
Stoneforge.
bolt. Yep.
Yep.
Valid. I'm not gonna lie. After this, I'm gonna go pick. Once this game's over, I'm gonna go pick the deck up and see how it handles. Probably terribly, but we'll see.
It's just like a car. We've got the second Stoneforge, and I would personally go for the Stifle here. The Cavern is on...
The
Wait,
human.
sorry? Oh, yeah, the Cavern is on human, and the Caracas is casting the Stoneforge.
Yep.
So we could have countered that one there. Jitte goes to hand. We've now got the 2 artifacts sitting there.
Yep. All right, so 2 artifacts in hand. Flicker Wisp in hand. Batter Skull. Is that... Wait, can't make
Yeah.
out those other
So
3 cards.
there's... I'm not sure. That might be a Palace Jailer. There's definitely an Orsive Pontiff.
Oh, it's a Pontiff. Okay.
There is a Flicker Wisp. There's a Batter Skull and a Jitte.
And do not know what the other card is.
It's a Phyrexian Provoker, I believe.
Oh, okay. Yep.
But I'm not sure.
The lack of art makes me believe that it would be a Phyrexian Revoker. Looks right.
Swords to Plowshares is in there, and still don't know what that one other card is. So we see here that Mark did bring in his Thought Seizers. Obviously, since he took out the 8 cards, the Forces, and the Dazers, we definitely needed to
just
have
some better cards,
Yeah,
more relevant to the matchup. And while Thought Seize isn't the best card for the matchup, it's better than the other cards.
better than the other options.
Yeah.
So plays out a Jitte, and we're about to see a Braid do its thing.
Good
Or not.
card. Nope.
Nope.
Chooses not to.
Just wants to let Jack use up some mana equipping it.
Yeah, and then probably a Braid in response.
Yeah, well, maybe he's wanting to save it for later on. So
Response, the Thought Seize,
puts in the Batter Skull.
puts in the Batter Skull. I mean, that might... the thing is, the Abrade you really want to be using on the Jedi, not the Batter Skull.
Yeah.
Despite the cost differences, the Jedi is the threat here, not the Batter Skull.
Like, the Batter Skull makes it harder to burn him out, I think. As long as you can keep him creature free on the board, which
It's true.
isn't necessarily possible. It's
It's
got
true.
a lot of them there. That is something we may see. So he takes the swords away.
Swords
He's
disappears.
got Flicker Wisp, Pontiff, and Phyrexian Revoker there.
Revoker.
And with the Cavern on human, it means that he can play the Pontiff at the moment,
Yes.
unless that gets wastelanded. So managing to get there even without the Vial.
So Mark going to fetch main phase again.
And we're going to see another Tombstalker. We've got the Badlands. Badlands in play again. And let's see whether or not... well, we're going to have to wait till next turn
Yeah.
to see that cast because we don't have another black.
So Steve agreeing with ripping the swords out of the hand. He wants to go hunting for some tombs,
Yeah. okay.
stalking, if you will.
We don't have that many creatures in the graveyard for the stalking to take place yet. Puts down a Revoker. I would assume the blind name is Deathrite Shaman.
Yep.
And bashes in with the
So-
Stoneforge Mystic.
How many cards in the bin has he got? So it's
He's
6.
got about 8 there.
Yeah.
So I think we're fine. And
So he can delve in Tombstalker. Actually, can he? Did he have double black in play? Yes,
he does have double black.
Yeah, he
because
does
he
have
got the
double black.
Badland last turn.
Got the Badlands.
The mana base hasn't been played with. And
So it looks like Tombstalker.
so we're looking for 5 cards. 1, 2... Getting rid of most of the land.
3, 4, 5. Yeah, is Tombstalker? Yeah, no, Tombstalker does cost 8.
Okay, I just can't do maths.
All right, Tombstalker
I
does
thought it was a
cost 8.
7 cost.
Yeah. Ah, okay. Yeah, because last game he paid 8 and it was actually 8. Our mistake.
I'm just not very.
I had it in my head that it was a 7 cost as well. I thought it was 5 black, not 6 black. Garbage card, terrible. Can't play. Unplayable.
Unplayable.
Horrible. Steve, you need to rethink your deck, mate.
I think Stoneforge attack, pump twice, block with the Jitte. I don't know if he just lets it through, and we trip the second swords off the top.
Another swords. Oh, that feels bad. Oh, Brainstorm
in response.
Hoping for the Force of Wills that he took out of the deck.
Gets a Spell Pierce. Doesn't do anything, but he gets it.
Doesn't help him.
Shuffles them all. No, it's a Brainstorm. So uses the Brainstorm as a ponder.
Did Mark not play the land from his hand that turn?
He didn't. He chose not to play the fetch land.
Much regret.
Very much so. Especially with the Brainstorm in hand, I've just got that little bit of extra value.
Yeah.
You can't Fatal Push either.
Mm.
So just Jack looking through with Recruiter, getting the best option, which, as we had a discussion in one of our earlier matches, we think is Sanctum Prelate all day long.
Yes.
And hands the deck over. And to True Nightmare, he did just Ponder Storm. The old Oni Brainstorm with the 3 cards on top of your library is not the best play.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
So we Fatal Push the first card, we bulk the second one, getting rid of all the 1-drops out of his hand before it becomes impossible.
Yep. Oh no, so... Oh yeah, of course, because we're
Because we're going to have a Prelate coming down.
Sanctum Prelate coming down momentarily.
And Jack's doing pretty impressively in that he hasn't lost a life this game, despite being about 10 turns in.
Yeah. Managed to keep a fairly stable board here. Might actually be able to...
for Ponder, I think he knows the top 2. So no, he doesn't. Only the top 1.
Pierce, Lightning Bolt, and Underground Sea.
And I think that's a shuffle.
Yep. So Jack's actually in a really good spot here to start being able to turn the corner here.
Yeah, just
equip
that GTA on 4 just does so much work.
Yeah.
And, I would just be pumping possibly twice each turn and just leaving it on 2 counters or 4 just to get in those final points of damage. But
so there's a Prelate so basically Jack has a there's the Prelate. So Mark knows Jack has a Prelate in hand. It was gotten off the Recruiter.
Yep. And he's putting down a bolt, firing it off at the Revoker.
In response to the Sanctum.
Looks like he's going for the second bolt he's got in hand. And just going to fire off the second bolt, but I'm not sure he has a way to deal with that Sanctum Prelate now that it's in play. Might be worth having another look at the sideboard.
Yeah, so...
to make certain.
So the Jitte equips to the Sanctum Prelate, and then Mark's in for a bad time. Mark is in for a bad time. So
bolts the second creature, and then all the 1-drops are down. Mark just shows his hand with the Stifle, draws a second Stifle.
Yeah.
Untaps his mana, and I think we're just going to see the Sanctum Prelate ride the rest of the way. And it's got a mum to protect
with
it
a mum in play. So Sanctum Prelate with a Jitte. Jitte's going to go to 6 counters here.
Not even pumping it.
It doesn't need to.
And Mark scoops it up at that.
Yep, that's enough for game 2. All right, so we're going to go to game 3.
So in terms of the way to deal with it, once we do have the Sanctum on 1 out, the only ways to beat it are apparently Prelate and kicked marsh casualties.
Yeah, I think that's it. So this is Jack's... I don't think Jack's making any real changes. The deck seemed to function nicely for him there.
Yeah, exactly how it was meant to.
We might jump across to take a look at Mark's sideboard again just to see what he actually... So to answer your question, not a lot.
Yeah, so the counter spells don't look like they're coming back in, so we've got Abrade, Marsh Casualties, Surgical Thoughtseize.
That's it. Yep.
So, it's interesting with the amount of Death and Taxes decks that we did end up with in the top 8, 3 out of the total 4 decks. We'll be interested to see whether or not it would, there may be some meta adjustments to it. I think Jund has a fairly good matchup against it, and just that it has a lot of varied mana costs for dealing with the spells that they play. And I've been a big fan of playing Food Chain against it as well.
Bit of a discussion going on in the Twitch chat there. I'm just trying to keep up here. So discussion about Sanctum Prelate versus, I guess, just a regular Chalice. No, apparently we're just discussing how strong a strong card is.
Well, obviously it does hit drone cards as well, but it's awkward. It's
awkward in this matchup. I mean, the Sanctum Prelate on 1 makes it hard to be against a Grixis Shell is going to be hard to remove, but Sanctum Prelate on 1.
I was playing Grixis Delver or Blue-Red Delver with Black, as I said earlier today. My only answer to it once it's in play is Fire Blasting.
Yeah, I think we saw. We saw one game.
Done that once or twice.
But it's a good card. All right, so there's the turn 1 Thoughtseize.
Turn 1 Thoughtseize. So we've got Nova, we've got Swords, Mum, and Serra Avenger. I think you have to take the Mum here.
Truck Nightmare, that is correct. Our very own, the guy right above you, Steve. Steve Stamopoulos.
Steve
Stamopoulos, not sure. Steve 2112 Rush.
2112, it's a Rush album.
Oh, of course. Oh, no, horrible. All right, I'm gonna leave. I missed the reference.
You are apparently not a prog rock fanatic.
But I am. That's the worst part.
He is a prog rock fanatic. He's just not a fan of Rush.
Take that back. No. Anyway, before I derailed myself, Steve Stamopoulos, this is, I don't know if it's his brew, but it's definitely his take on...
It's pretty much his Grixis Delver. His idea was that Gurmag Angler can't hit anything, especially not if they've got elves in play, but Tombstalker hits every time. We've got a turn 2, I think it is, turn 2 Deathrite from Mark after the initial Wasteland interaction, and... Deathrite goes away to the Swords.
Yep.
So 1 card left that he knows about and 2 that he doesn't. And looks like it's a little bit light on land, and looks like he did bring in the Snapcaster Mages that we had on the board earlier.
All right. Let's see. So, Flicker Whiffs.
So it's the first, second, or third turn of the game, so we currently cannot cast Serra Avenger.
Nope.
But we will be able to do that the next turn off those 2 white sources
in play. That would be against the rules.
That's right. Mark finds a True Name Nemesis. Still no land, though, so can't cast it yet. And as we mentioned earlier, Jack has bought and cancels Judgment, so he has a way to deal with that.
So there's the Serra Avenger, rather.
Yep, it gets an Abrade, so we can deal with it this turn if he likes.
Cavern Named Angel.
Cavern Named Angel.
For reference. All right. So Mark has the Abrade in hand. Didn't hit a land.
Yeah, so just trying to make the decision whether or not he wants to kill off the Serra Avenger now or wait till later. And it looks like he is going to do that in his main
It's almost like he has to think twice about every time he wants to pick up the deck.
Do you really want to shuffle this right now?
Do I really want to shuffle my deck right now? It's like a looming question the whole time. Fetching has a hidden cost of shuffling.
So there was a lovely article a couple of years ago when Battle of Wits was a popular Pro Tour deck. And there was a discussion on whether you could legally shuffle a Battle of Wits deck in that, if you're doing it to a sufficiently randomized amount, then is going to take too long, so you're time wasting, or if you're doing it fast enough to not be time wasting, then it's not sufficiently randomized, and pretty much you can just come up and disqualify anyone if they're playing Battle Bits in the deck in the game at all, which I found quite amusing.
So
Jack has paid out a Mum and a Phyrexian Revoker
on Deathrite Shaman.
on Deathrite Shaman.
Now, so Agrippa pointing out in Twitch that using the Abrade there has got to feel bad if in Mark's seat, because it's like one of the few removals you have to the large number of artifacts that Jack has.
Yeah. He's also got 3 Stifles, which just don't look like they're doing a lot there.
No.
And he gets rid of the Plains and brings it back again.
Abrade also is an answer to Prelate,
which is something that you really need.
It was a bit of a paddling.
He does just have 2 Sanctum Prelates, but they do a lot of work once they're in play. So he plays a Squire, a 1-cost Squire rather than a 2-cost. But
I mean, it's a so the discussion, Agrippa, definitely. I mean, there's the tempo. The tempo aspect's definitely a thing.
So I think here you block with Deathrite Shaman and don't stifle the Mum trigger. Did he play Mum last turn? I feel like I'm missing something.
Mum wasn't used.
Yeah, I know. I was saying that Mark should have stifled the Mum, but he didn't activate it. So
it wasn't activated. It doesn't matter. I guess maybe Jack missing something as well. Either way, there's a Tombstalker.
Yeah, so I think he's probably just trying to protect.
Immediately going to be swordsed.
That's a Path of Exile.
Path, rather.
So no downside because there's no basic lands in Mark's deck.
Yeah, Mark doesn't even bother.
Even
if there was, he'd think twice about getting it because he's got to shuffle again.
And as Agrippa said there, we're really just hoping for a Marsh Casualties to make sure that this continues to be a game.
Yeah, look, Stifle in this matchup is a bit of a weird one. It has a weird spot, just being pointed out there by Droopy. It kind of doesn't do much.
Got a dead ponder pretty much. So we can either take the fetch land or just take the shuffle straight away. I think the shuffle straight away is better just because you see the 2 cards. And then we just have this turn and the next one to see a Marsh Casualties. Let's see what happens.
Steve feeling the pain of the Tombstalker every time. So, just a question for you from Scott there for you, Steve. How's your air quotes work going at home there? Just curious.
This is the second screen.
I don't think he's left the chat the whole day.
Okay, so we've got a fetch land before the draw.
All right, so
Marsh Casualties or bust.
Yeah, look, Stifle. Bringing it back to something I mentioned before. Steven's confusion. So I think it's deceptive in this because Stifle has a lot of targets. There's a lot of things in Jack's deck that you can stifle, but there's nothing you want to stifle.
That's right.
Like nothing that has any kind of real effect.
Fair.
There's plenty of things that you can be like, yeah, but you can stifle this or that, or there's like heaps of triggers.
Vial's nice, Mum's nice, but it's just
it doesn't worth it.
Quite do enough.
No, exactly. Stifling a Mum trigger, stifling a Vial trigger, Like it just doesn't. It doesn't feel like you're getting any value out of it.
Slams off the top. It does not see Marsh Casualties and holds out the handshake.
That's it. Jack Jiggins. Death and taxes. The only thing that is guaranteed.
And I'm not sure about the first one.
Death and taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 2 things in life. All right. Well, Jack cleans it up.
I think he went.
We'll grab. Plan is we'll grab Jack in for a quick chat about his
deck.
His run to the top and his deck, and he's now the proud owner of a
Bayou, and we're going to have a chat with him soon. So we'll be back with you in a few moments for that particular interview.
Stand by. Anytime. At some point, we'll go away. Here we go. And we're back. I'm Marcus. This is Jack, proud owner of an Unlimited Bayou.
Yep.
Congratulations. So, how was your day?
Good, I guess. I want to pay you.
Yeah, of course. Oh, come on, let's be a bit more specific. How was...
let's see.
how'd you find it?
I only dropped 2 games the entire day. I
Yep.
went into the top 8 undefeated apart from 2 IDs.
Okay.
But my thing in the 8, I played what was it? Turbo Depths game 1,
Yep.
round 1.
Sure.
And they right off consumption me. I'm like, oh fuck, oh wait. In response, play my creature.
Sure.
I survive.
Yep.
I just lived on 2 life.
Yeah, right, okay.
So that was quite a good thing.
Heads up play, yep.
Yeah.
And then, so that was sort of your closest call for the day?
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, he's got 20 damage in the stack. I'm playing a deck with no counterspells, so it's like, oh wait, I have a plow my useless creature.
Sure.
Then I just killed him by attacking him.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yep.
All right. Sweet. So then, okay, so you made it into top 8.
Yeah.
Now, your top 8 run was Death and Taxes Mirror.
Yeah, I hate the mirror.
It finished up real fast.
Yeah.
Real fast. Like,
Yeah.
you O2'd that in, like, there was a combo mirror match that
Yeah.
lasted longer than your...
Well, game 1, I just assembled a creatures. Game 2, I had my secret tech Ozzy point off. He had a Revoker on Jade, Revoker on Stoneforge. I had a Battle Skull in hand, and he had a Mum, so I just wiped his entire board state, got a Battle Skull, and a Jade just conceded on the spot. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Clean?
Yeah.
Clean. So that was your top 8. Then your top 4 was against...
Let's see. It was against Show and Tell.
Okay.
I thought I'd lose that match actually. Turn 2, he just omniscience me. Game 1 just killed me. I was like,
Yeah, it'll do that.
yeah. Losing to Show and Tell game 1 just always feels rough.
Mhm.
Because game 1's it's quite easy for D&T.
Yep.
So I'd win game 2, game 3, which happened. But yeah, like I don't like the first 2 turns of combo decks because it just feels like I'm sitting there. It's like, don't combo me.
Yeah, you're sort of at the mercy. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so you took it in the final. Game, I think it was game 1 you dropped?
I
And then-
melt a 4, which is just...
Oh, that's right. Yeah, of course it was a multi 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was just...
Yep.
Yeah, look, not much to be said about a game of
Yep.
Magic where you're mulling to 4. And then took it back game 2 and 3.
Game 3, I was quite scared.
Yeah, okay.
He had tons of cards in hand. He plays a deck with such low curves. Like, he just has so many 1-drops.
Yeah, sure.
So I was wondering, like, why isn't he casting spells? What's happening? Like, my board state wasn't that efficient. Like, if he dropped a flyer and he
Yep.
was on 2, I may have just tried to go for it because I had tons of lands. Like,
Yep.
I had the momentum, but, like, I didn't have anything to back it up. I was trying to solidify my board state with, like, I really wanted Stoneforge. I just wanted Stoneforge. But I just want stuff like Athalia or just things to solidify my board state,
Yep.
and I just kept getting lands.
Sure,
So I honestly
yeah.
thought like I was in a bad position. He got to 2 life, and then I thought, okay, well, he has to top deck here. If he
Yep.
doesn't top deck, I'm just going to give, I'm just going to protect it and attack and see what happens.
Yeah, so what's interesting, so obviously he was playing Steven's deck,
Yep.
and man, Steven was feeling the pain every time you had every time you dealt with the Tombstalker, every time,
Yeah.
every damn time.
I'm sorry, Steven. I just don't like Tombstalkers.
So
Actually, no, game 1 it got me, so I didn't.
I did get
Yes.
you, didn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, so you didn't have any. So, you've got what you
Yep.
can flip the ear over.
Is that better?
No, flip this one. You can flip it over.
Oh.
It might be a bit more comfortable.
Okay.
Like that. There you go. Well, anyway.
Surely that might explain things.
Yeah, there we go. All right. So, overall, so you've been playing Legacy for a while,
Yeah.
fair while, and I think you've played in quite a few of our events here
Yeah.
in general the general games events and such. So, I mean, how's the experience been? You know, being on stream, getting to
No, it's good. The setup's good here. The story is good. The events run smoothly. I'd recommend if you're going to play Legacy, play it in Melbourne for one. Secondly, follow the Salt Mine. #SaltMine. Tombstalkers. They're also really good. What else is good? Sean Brown's articles are good. Yes. And General Games is one of the best game stores in Melbourne.
Cheers, buddy. Yeah, so like big community. We've been saying it all day. The community in Melbourne, just how open and willing to share cards, knowledge. It's just a great place to come and play.
It really is.
To come play Legacy. So yeah, look, congratulations. You're the proud owner of an Unlimited Bayou.
Yep.
Maybe going to build a new deck, or is it going to slot? Is it going to fill a slot?
I have no idea. It's a Bayou.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'll play it in Commander.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes.
All right. Well, congratulations. Well done.
Yep.
We'll wrap it up here, and we'll hopefully see you in the next one.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.